And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, y'all. Look out. What is it good for? Absolutely
Nothing. Can't think of a thing. This is, but it's with us. I mean, it just keeps coming round and round and round and round and round and round. And there's a reason. Well, I'm going to share this one with you. It was called Station 2. And what they would have at the peace protest in front of Lockheed Martin in Philadelphia was someone would come in and they'd make a presentation. And then they had a bell that they'd ring, and they plant a cross, and then the next person would come and do it. And it was interesting. It was well done. I thought there was a lot of good information in here. It was this one that first caught my attention, and it says, and I'll go ahead and just put up silver prices while we're talking. I got to bring this up. And it had to do with the Fed thing and war and all the. We have silver down now. It's down to about $47. Down. It was almost 50 this morning. 50. But we're down to 47. I'm 50. I mean, wow. We have an article up today that has a link to a video that has Jim Rogers talking about, look, man, there may be a time to sell, but we ain't anywhere close to that. Nope. Because he's saying triple digits, absolutely. But there may be a bubble in it going up and be time to sell, and then it'll go down and you buy some more. So when it goes down, sooner or later it will, and it'll take a plummet. And when it does, that's a signal to buy some more, because it's just going to get stupid. It's just going to keep going. And Bernanke, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern on Wednesday, is going to be doing a press conference. And not a single word out of his mouth is going to mean anything. It's just going to be blah, 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 another opportunity for the bankers to make a bunch of money on, they already know what he's going to say and what they think the stock market's going to do, because nobody cares. Let me tell you what's really going to have an impact. When China sells all of their treasuries, that's when it's going to hit. Japan's doing the same thing. They got to fund their infrastructure rebuild. This is, done, man. And part of the thing I'm doing at FedStock, I'm going, what did you think the end was going to look like? When you have silver going from $17 an ounce last year to all of a sudden, boom, it's almost 50 today. What kind of sign were you looking for? And what role do wars play? All right, let's go ahead and read this. Second station, Jesus carries his cross. Formed in April 95, merger of Lockheed and Martin Marietta, and becoming at the very moment of its incorporation the world's largest weapons corporation, Lockheed Martin announced itself with the slogan, "And this is just the beginning," atop row upon row of pictured weapons systems. Lockheed Martin is the common denominator in the production of every major weapons system, nuclear and non-nuclear, in the U.S. arsenal and sold by the U.S. around the world. Lockheed Martin received from the public treasury more than $42.7 billion this year. The empire of U.S. war-making has its cross. Lockheed Martin across the country and around the world, here in Valley Forge and throughout the Delaware Valley, means weaponry. Nuclear weapons, Triton missiles, cruise missiles, F-35 Joint Strike Stealth fighters, combat satellites and computers, Aegis warships and ballistic missile defense, the airborne laser system, and a host of other Star Wars missile defense weapons for the continued militarization of space. Among the numerous Pentagon weapons contracts here in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, Lockheed Martin builds weapons control systems for U.S. Navy Tomahawk cruise missiles and battlefield computer systems, as well as field support equipment for Minuteman III missiles, Mark 12A nuclear warheads. Unmanned aerial drone bombings in Afghanistan and Pakistan have killed untold thousands of civilians. The remote-controlled drones have become central to the escalating policy of war in Afghanistan and have introduced a whole new approach to remote-controlled bombing. Lockheed Martin produces drones that are now being used in nearly daily airstrikes, as well as the military satellites that direct and control the drone bombings from the continental United States at the Creech Air Force Base in Nevada outside of Las Vegas. 85 drones are now being promised to Pakistan for its own use. 85? Wow. And President Barack Obama has just approved the use of armed drones in Libya, authorizing U.S. airstrikes on ground forces for the first time since America ostensibly turned over control of the operation to the U.S. alliance, NATO, on April 4th. Every weapon produced by Lockheed Martin means billions of dollars transferred from the public treasury to private wealth, from public need to corporate greed. Well, of course, these are progressive people. Every weapon produced by Lockheed Martin means another bombing run, another missile attack, another war. At its height, the Roman Empire maintained 37 overseas military bases. The British Empire had 36. The U.S. maintains more than 730 overseas military bases. Jesus carried a cross of wood. At a cost of nearly $1 trillion per year, we too carry a cross. We carry the weight of militarism and empire, the weapons it builds, the wars it wages, the earth it poisons, the lives it destroys, the societies and economies it cripples. Certainly, no less ours. We all carry the weight of Lockheed Martin. I thought that was interesting. There's many others that they use to make their point, but I think that one pretty much does. And there was another one, a fact that they had. It was only a few weeks after 9/11 that a troubled F-35 strike fighter, the new fighter system, it was in trouble. Well, little World Trade Center action, all of a sudden it wasn't in trouble anymore. You want to know who's responsible for a lot of bad things in history, you just see who benefits the most. Whenever you have a death or a murder, they're like, all right, who benefited? Not even allowed to question. Here in the United States, you know, bringing up these kinds of questions got you Dixie chicked or Charles Goyetted. Got Goyetted. I've seen it up close and personal, saw it happen. Also, working with Adam on Adam versus the Man is Luke Kradowski, and he was there in Philadelphia. We've met each other before at PorkFest last year, and we got a little bit of time to talk this time. And he pinky swore that he'd respond to Sierra getting him booked for the show, so I look forward to that. He's very busy, and we make every now and then we'll make a ping trying to get hold of him, but he promised this time, you know, here's the secret Uber number, and we'll get it taken care of. So we'll have him on. But there's a lot of things that are happening that represent the next generation and what they're going to do. My encouragement to these young people, they have such a bright future ahead of them. Technology, education, access to information, the ability to be independent from a system that's designed for them to be dependent on government. What I wanted to share with them is I've been doing this activist thing and advocating for freedom for a long time. Me and my family, my kids grew up, they don't know anything different. They're like, what? Everybody's parents aren't doing this? What happened was that I go, you know, I was waiting on you. I've been looking for you. This generation to have, imagine my delight that within a year, 2 years, all of a sudden, you have an entire generation next with the information they need to share with the next generation and their younger siblings and friends. The ability to just survive. Because governments don't. They can't. But they'll replace them with another one. There's always the next generation of we rule you. But then you have guys like Stefan Molyneux out there going, you know, it's just another livestock management tool. And once you come up with that realization, once you understand what it is that government's really all about and what it does, you no longer try to fix it. You just want to avoid it. People are communicating with each other on how to do that very thing, and it's happening. Future looks bright. It's going to get messy first. Talk about more when we come back.